What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All the Mods Expert Mode. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode, we started working towards getting our Elven Gateway going. We spawned in a bunch of these guys over here, and surprisingly enough, they're still hanging out. I guess they'll just hang out for forever. I was figuring these would be an enemy, or I guess a mob that you would spawn in, and then they'd go away after a certain amount of time, but they seem to be hanging out. Sure enough, they are dropping these other world leaves just by being around here. So that's kind of cool. We don't have to spawn in the lesser ones and kill them continually. So let's see, what do we got? Just got 2 of them. I did collect like 3 of them earlier. So yeah, we are getting some of them every now and then. So that's kind of cool. So we're going to continue on today with trying to get the Elven portal open. We need to start making Terra Steel. Now, in order to make Terra Steel, we need large amounts of mana, which means we're going to need our food source going. So currently we're using toast as our food source for our food flour over here. Let's go make sure that our thing is full. Let's take a look what we got. Our dispenser appears to be not full. There you go. Now we're full up. Okay. So now we got 9 stacks of toast in here. Remember, the toast is shot out onto our Gore Moralis, which sends its mana to this mana spreader, which goes to that mana pool. Yeah. Anyway, so we need to take the mana out of that mana pool and put it onto our terrestrial agglomeration plate. I still don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, so in order to make one of those, we have to have all these different runes. So off camera, I went ahead and I made all these. Displacement rune is the only rune out of those where like you put all the recipe into the grid, but you can't pull the item out. You have to log out and then log back in, and then you can take the item out. Anyway, I did that. In fact, if we go downstairs, we head over to our blood magic area, you can see I made 7 more of these displacement runes for our altar. So our altar can now take in and remove 1 bucket of life essence every single time, right? So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I like that. So 1 bucket at a time. That's based on how much our blood altar can handle. Like the amount it can pull out is 10% of the amount that this thing can handle. And then, yeah, up until the point where we have the displacement runes that should be, like, we can have more displacement runes. We can have the full altar full of those things. It'll still only pull out to 10%. If we have not enough, though, then you'll start doing less than 10%. Anyway, so that's where this is. So we need to get more runes of capacity, the capacity runes, I think, in order for this to hold more. We'll look at that later. Anyway, I also added in a few of these runes of sacrifice on both sides, right? So that should be, is that 7? 14. We have 7 more of our runes of displacement down here. And I did add in some speed runes. Yeah, the tier 1 and 2 crafts take so long to work. I just figured it'd be a good idea to get this going. We had to make a bunch of like the dark stone into the blank slates and the blank slates into the reinforced, and then we had to make a few of the imbued slates after that. Anyway, with the tier 1 and 2 without any speed runes, that goes really slow. So yeah, I added those in. Now when we do like our tier 5 crafting for making the draconium, we're probably going to want to remove those because that goes really fast. But yeah, with the runes of sacrifice now, I put in 7 of these, and it looked like when I killed a villager, we were making 2.2 buckets of life essence. I don't think I've tried it since I added in those other ones. We should do that real quick. Oh, I have the sacrificial dagger on me, or the dagger of sacrifice on me. So let's remove some of the life essence from the altar real quick so we can kind of see where we're at now. I'll probably go down below half. 3 buckets in there. Okay, so 4. Oh, my mistake. I was going to do this. Okay, so we got 2 buckets worth of life essence in the altar. Let's spawn in a villager real quick and then poke it with the dagger and see where we're at. So we have 2. Poke. And we're at 6.6. So that is 4.6 buckets of life essence per villager poke. That's really good. So the next thing we really need to do is get the ability. The next thing we need to do is get the ability for our altar to be able to move more than a bucket at a time, which means we need the altar to hold more. So that'll be a project for another time. So anyway, that's kind of cool that we are now at that point. Let me go ahead and do that so we can take life essence out or put life essence back in. And these villagers will just despawn after like a minute, I think, is how long they'll hang out for. So anyway, let's put the dagger away. We have this. So let's see. We have our... Trying to remember everything we're doing now. we have our mana pool almost full, but yeah, we need to transfer the mana out of this onto our terrestrial agglomeration plate. So we need to make this guy. We have plenty of the demon crystallizers already. We have to make these different runes. We've seen how to make the runes already. We just take these ingredients, drop them on our runic altar here, put a piece of living rock on there, and shift right click it with the wand after it's complete. So I'll go ahead and make sure that we get all of those done. Was there anything else that we needed to do? No. So we need to do that. And then we have to place this down on a little multi-block structure that's like lapis and the living rock. So let me go ahead. Well, first of all, get all the runes made so we can make the plate. We'll get our altar done. And then we'll see where we're at as far as what else we need to do. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I got all of the different runes made, the extra ones that we needed. It was only the rune of water and rune of fire that we were missing. We had the other three, so that's pretty cool. So we should be able to make our plate now. Let's see if we can do it. Looks good. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so now that we got the plate, we need to get a place for this thing to go. Our Britannia area isn't in the best spot, to be completely and perfectly honest. It was kind of like we needed it for a little bit, so we kind of tucked it out of the way, and then we've been expanding a little bit as we go, but this really isn't ideal. I guess we're going to move our pure daisy. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll put our... Let's see, we need a 3x3 area. So we'll place this here. I don't know where that dirt went. Kind of like popped out all over the place. I don't know. All right, so let's get rid of that torch. Cool. All right, so we'll place that there, this here, one of those there, and one of those there. Then we got to do lapis on the other ones. Pretty sure this is the way this goes. I'm almost positive. Unless it's 5 lapis and 4 living rock. Anyway, we'll put that right like that. I think that's right. So in order for us to make Terra Steel, we need to get the mana from our mana pool over to this plate here. And then we're going to have to put the right ingredients on the plate, and then it'll just work. It'll start making the items. So first thing we need to do, let's make ourselves sparks. Sparks are the best way to move large amounts of mana from one mana pool to anywhere else that can accept a spark. Other than that, we have to use the mana spreaders, and these are just far too slow. They just don't move enough mana. So we have to make 2 of these. Now, it does require Arcane Ashes. I do remember we previously made too many of those. Let's take a look at where we are on the Arcane Ashes. Yeah, we have 3 remaining, and we have one that has some durability on it. Let's see, if we tell it to make that, looks like we have everything except for the mana powder. Okay, so mana powder is made with ash from forestry in this particular mod pack. So we'll take 4 ash, we'll go put that in our mana pool over here and make the mana powder out of it. There we go. Okay, so that's done. Oop. Cool. All right, so we can do this and this. There's 1 spark, yeah. So it doesn't like the one with the missing durability. That's kind of be expected. So to make the Arcane Ashes, redstone, bone meal, gunpowder, coal. I'm typing R and it won't let me do it because my mouse cursor was in here. So let's make, I don't know, like 5 of those. We'll just get some extra. So gunpowder. It was bone meal and coal, if I remember correctly. And 5 coal. We need 1 more gunpowder. Apparently I did not grab enough. There we go. So now we can come down here to our blood magic area into our Hellfire Forge, and then we can craft up the rest of our Arcane Ashes. And that takes just a little bit of time for each one. Will it? Yeah, okay, it won't stack. I was hoping that I could just walk away and they would just craft the other ones. And those would be ready by the time I come back. I do want to make some extras because we might make some more sparks. I don't really know how much Botania mana we need, but it would be good to be able to have extra stockpiled up for when we need it for later. Okay, I think we're good there. Let's go back upstairs and we can tell it to make one more spark. Okay, so now we got 2 sparks. Perfect. All right, so the way this works, you shift right click the spark here, and now it's just an entity floating above the plate. And then you can shift right click it here, and again, it's just an entity floating above. They don't do anything until this guy requests mana. So we need to put the correct items on there. Now I'm trying to remember, I think it's a mana pearl. Is it mana powder, mana pearl, mana steel? It feels like the right ones. So we have a mana pearl already. So iron, and then another forestry ash. I believe those are the items we need on there. Okay, so we will do that and that. So now we got our 3 blue items. Now if we put it over here, we should see something happen if those are correct. And they're not. Okay, so I need to figure out what the actual other item is. Yeah, I felt like the mana powder was not correct. Mana diamond, that's what it is. So those 3 items here, put on the plate, should start drawing large amounts of mana from our mana pool and turning that into Terra Steel. The problem is we don't make mana as fast as the way we're draining it right now. So we're going to have to wait for our mana pool to fill back up. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, each piece of Terra Steel does use half a mana pool worth of mana. And there we go. We're gonna need a few of these. I'm trying to remember how many we need. So the Elven Gateway core does require 2. And I think something else, was it the Living Wood, the Glimmering, required Terra Steel nuggets? Yeah, so we need at least 3 pieces of Terra Steel to be made. So I'm going to wait around for enough mana to be generated here. Again, you can see how much actual mana is in there if you right click with this. And you can see the halfway point. So once it's beyond that halfway point, I can make another piece of Terra Steel, but this is going pretty slow. Okay guys, so we have the 3 pieces of Terra Steel made. I just got done making 2 mana pools out of the living rock that we have. We still have a decent amount left, 75. We need to make our Elven Gateway core, so let's make that. So Otherworld block, we learned how to make that last episode, I do believe. We got the ambrosia from the end, from the chest there, and we got our 2 pieces of Terra Steel. So there's an Elven Gateway core. So now we need to make 3 glimmering living wood. So that requires 4 living wood per, 2 Otherworld leaves, a Terra Steel nugget, and corrosive will crystals. Okay, so let's make nugget. So there's that. I don't think we have the corrosive will clusters or crystals in there. So we'll have to come down to where our crystals are and grab those. This one. Okay, so we needed, what was it, 6? All right. Let's go back upstairs real quick. And there is those guys. So glimmering living wood. Cool. All right, so now we have the base pieces. Now we need regular living wood. I'm not sure if we have enough. Hopefully we do. Is that going to be enough? I don't think it is. Let's see, 2, 4, 6. Oh, actually, I think that's exactly enough. Okay, so let's take this. We need to set this up somewhere. And there's also a couple other things we're going to need. I think it is the Natura Pylon that we need. So that's more Terra Steel nuggets. We need a corrosive will crystal cluster. Emerald fragment. Okay. So hold on a second. We need emeralds for this? Or the emerald fragments? Oh boy. Okay. So this is something I didn't realize before. So we need crystal grains, which come from crystal propolis, which come from crystal combs, which come from any of these bees. Redstone, I think, are fairly easy to get. I don't know about the quartz or the certus. Emerald would obviously be the one we'd want to go to. So a redstone bee, steadfast. I think we got some of those from the end city. So we need an obsidian. So it's a hardened with a steadfast, a rocky with a cultivated. Oh man, that kind of stinks. That's a lot of bee breeding that we're not going to be able to do. I didn't even look that far ahead for the nature of pylons. Okay, what about our mana pylons? Okay, so that's demon will, mana diamond, and royal jelly for that. Oh boy, okay, so I didn't even look at these pylons. So in order to get into Botania, we are going to need to get into bees. Okay guys, so like I said, we're going to have to get into bees in order to progress, but I don't think we're going to do that right now. What I would like to do at this point is start looking at getting into Draconic Evolution, okay? What I want to do is I want to make a Awakened Draconium. This is going to allow us to do bees easier by unlocking the acceleration wand. Otherwise, we're gonna have to spend a large amount of time just waiting on the bees to breed and hoping and etc, etc. So yes, we're gonna start working on Awakened Draconium, like I said, which will get us towards the acceleration wand, which will make bee breeding a lot simpler for us. So that's what we're doing. So in order to get Awakened Draconium, we have to do fusion crafting, right? So we need wyvern tier injectors, these things. They're wyvern fusion crafting injectors. And you can see that there's 7 items here. So we need 7 of those at the wyvern level. Okay, so to get an injector to the wyvern level, we need 8 of the basic tier. Okay, so we need, well, I guess we would need 9. Yeah, anyway, we need 8 of those in the world processing, and then we need 1 right here crafting. So we would need a total of 9 of these basic fusion crafting injectors in order to process 1. And as we process that, then we can swap this basic one for that wyvern and etc, etc. So we need 9 of these. So a basic fusion crafting injector, this is our recipe here. The thing that is really going to suck is the item in the middle here, which is a block of Terra Steel. We made 3 pieces of Terra Steel, and that took some time. This block requires 9, and we're going to need 9 blocks. That's 81 ingots, 81 Terra Steel, right? 9 times 9? Yeah, okay. So we really need to ramp up our mana production. Like, this is fine, this got us by. We need a lot more than this in order to progress. Yeah. Okay, so I was talking earlier that our Botania area here is not the greatest. It was kind of like we set some things here that we kept adding, and we don't really have a lot of room over here for what I want to do. So I think we're going to move our Botania area just over here on the other side of our blast furnace. We'll probably terraform this a little bit and try to get it all onto the same level down here. I think just gonna have like a bigger flat open area. Pretty much what I want to do is I want to scale up what we're currently doing right now. We have 1 Gore Moralis, which is producing mana from bread. I want to scale that up. I want to have like 4 of these going into 1 mana pool. And I probably want to have like 3 or 4 or 5 mana pools being generated, so we just have large amounts of mana being created all the time. A while ago, I made that last piece of Terra Steel, and this thing is still filling up. Like, it's filling up okay, but it needs to go a lot faster if we're going to make that amount of Terra Steel. So, next bit of time that I'm going to spend here is I'm going to move this. I'm going to set up some more dispensers, set up some more Gore Moralises, and I'm going to make some more of these mana spreaders so we can start filling up mana pools a lot faster. All right, guys, so we got some stuff done here. I've had to make a whole lot more of the living wood, which means I had to make some of the wild wood. But anyway, I've been taking our wild wood and converting to living wood using our swapping wand. We got a lot of stuff going on that is taking time. I even set up our elven portal over here, but this thing will not work until we get those pylons. So yeah, that's where that's going to go. I did some terraforming here. As you can see, I pushed the land back a little bit. I think it'll work out kind of fine. So anyway, we have 4 mana spreaders per mana pool. So this will fill up 4 times faster, and then we're going to do it 3 times over. So yeah, we gotta be making a decent amount of mana. So the way we're going to set this up, first things first, we need to make sure each one of these mana spreaders are pointed to the right mana pool. So you can see I pointed this one, the mana pool is highlighted, pointed this one, nothing's highlighted. So this thing's pointing the wrong way. So if I shift right click, it points down here. And now you can see that the mana pool is highlighted. Now I can even bind these further, which will kind of point them. Instead of just having them point at a 90-degree angle, it'll actually point to the mana pool. We could do that if we want to. I don't know if this one changes if I do that. Did that change? It looked like it flipped around or something. I'm not sure. Maybe I should just go ahead and make sure each one of these things are set to the mana pool instead of just hoping everything's going to work. Okay, so there we go. Now all of those are pointed at their specific mana pool, right? So what we need to do is place down our flowers. So what happens is when you have a mana spreader down and you place a flower, it automatically links to the closest one, which could be this one or this one. I think it's going to be that one, but we can see for sure when we hover over the flower holding our wand, right? So why is that a thing that we need to worry about? Because if we place another one here, this one could link to this one or that one or whatever. We want each one of these flowers to link to its own. Now, these Gormoralis, when they ingest food, they check like a 3x3 area around it. So like 1 block away, essentially. We want the dispensers or the droppers to drop directly on the flower. But yeah, we can't place these flowers next to each other. Otherwise, this one might eat the one next to its food. And then it's just going to waste and this one's not going to do anything. So we do have to spread these out a little bit, right? So we're going to place those like that. We'll place these ones over here like so. And then I think we'll probably for now place these guys on this side. So can't really place them in the same sort of pattern over here. Okay, so that's the way we're going to do that. Now we got to make sure that each one of these flowers is linked to the correct one. I'll link that one here. This one can go there. That'll be fine. And that one to the bottom one. Now, they don't need direct line of sight. They just need to be within range of these guys, right? So we'll just go ahead and make sure each one of these. Oh, my goodness. We'll make sure that each one of these is set to the correct mana spreader. That guy. And this one. Yeah, also, when you look at the flower, it'll also say a check mark if it knows that there's a mana spreader nearby. But like I said, we need to make sure each one of these is going to its own mana spreader. If they double up, we're going to be wasting mana, so we can't have that one. And then finally, this one goes to the bottom one down here. Cool. Okay, so all of those should be linked appropriately. We can fill in the ground. Don't have to look at the mana spreaders down there. Those should still work just fine. Now, the other thing is we do want to make sure these things are not going to keep filling up mana when they don't need it. So we're going to do the redstone comparator thing like we've done before. We'll just do these all on the same side. That should be just fine. We'll do that. We need a redstone signal going into this. I don't think the redstone affects the mana spreaders unless you have the redstone mana spreader. I could be wrong. I might have to change this up. We'll figure that out. But anyway, that'll compare with the comparator. So when this thing's full, the comparator outputs a 15. The redstone block next to the comparator ensures it'll only emit a redstone signal when it's 15, right? Okay, so now that we got that redstone signal coming out, that needs to go into a timer. We'll place just blocks like this. When that outputs a redstone signal, that's going to turn the timers off. But we want the timer right here, right there. That should be just fine. These timers by default are at 100. We want those at 70, I believe is what I found out. That works perfectly for toast. So we'll go ahead and set all these things to 70. Cool. All right, so now that's done, we can start placing down our droppers or dispensers. I think, yeah, we're using dispensers. So we can place those directly on top of these flowers. And I do believe you can use a wrench to point those downwards, so we will do that. Where is... I got so much stuff going on in my inventory, it's hard to find everything. We want to make sure these are pointing down. I don't really know a good way to do that without actually looking at the bottom side and seeing if it's pointed down. There we go. So I'll go ahead and do that to all of those guys. We'll also want more on this one and this one, right? And then we can just pull the redstone signal off this thing using these conduits. So like that, that should click all 4 of these every time. Yeah, that sounds like it's working correctly. Cool. So that should drop 1 piece of toast on each one of these flowers. I'll set the rest of these up to be the same. So what that's going to do is keep all of our mana pools 100% full. So once that's done, we got to figure out what we're going to do with all of the mana that we have stored up in these mana pools. All right, guys, so this is how we are currently creating our toast. I did make our electric furnace like I said I was going to make. So we have that hooked up. We have 12 overclocker upgrades in here. I still have to make more of those. I kind of sourced from some from a macerator and some from this one. I think some from that one too. Anyway, we're going pretty quickly here. So yeah, 12 overclocker upgrades. We're keeping up on the power. I did add in another P2P tunnel back here, right? So we're now doubling the power that we're making from our RF. And over here, I have added in another one of these high energy RF converters. Yep, I tried putting both of those going through one of these P2P tunnel EUs, and it felt like it was not changing power. Like we weren't gaining anything, like having both of those connected to one of these P2P tunnels. So I added in the second one, and now it seems like things are going correctly. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. So I am able to take wheat, put it into here, take out some toast, put in wheat, take out toast, etc. Obviously, we're going to want this fully automated at some point, but for right now, to get our dispensers full and all of that kind of stuff, this is working quite nicely. Now, this is going a lot faster than the Ender IO alloy smelter. If we go, let's see, where's our machines over here? If we go to our machines, you can see we have an alloy smelter still smelting, but it takes that long to do 3. So I've had this thing going now for a lot longer than I've started doing the ones on the downstairs one. And yeah, we are making toast way faster. So we are now just about full over here on toast. I think this is the last one that needed some. Yeah, all these other ones are now full. And all of our mana pools have filled up. They didn't take very long at all, which is really, really awesome. So ideally what I'd like to do is link all these mana pools up so they send all their mana over to one centralized mana pool. But for right now, I don't think we're going to do that. Not until we can get some more sparks going. That's probably actually the next thing that I'm going to work on. Well, not just sparks, but getting like the spark augments. Yeah, what we would want to do is have like a dominant augment on a spark on a centralized mana pool. That way it'll pull all the mana from the other ones that have the sparks on it. Otherwise, in order to move the mana around, we have to use the mana spreaders, and that's pretty slow. So I think what we're going to end up doing is just putting sparks on all 3 of these and putting our Terra Steel manufacturer over here. That way it can draw from all 3 at the same time. They're all 3 fill at the same time. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best way to go about it for right now. But yeah, this is working pretty nice. I did make a mistake when I was setting this up. Yeah, I put the timer and the redstone comparator on this side on the middle one. I did swap that around. So it is in the correct location. But yeah, all this stuff, this will be changed eventually. This is just to make mana fast so we can do our Terra Steel. Now the next step is we need, what was it, 81 pieces of Terra Steel, I think is what I said. In order to do that, we're going to need the same amount of mana steel, mana diamonds, and mana pearls. So we need to start putting all those things through and getting those done. So that is going to be my next step. So I didn't realize we were that far into the video. My goodness, guys, we've reached pretty close to the end, but let's go ahead and test this thing out. We have 3 mana pools. All of them have sparks on them now. Like the sparks are kind of You can kind of see them hanging out right inside the mana spreaders. So all 3 of these should send mana to the plate as we make our Terra Steel. So all the mana pools start making mana right away, and that goes 3 times faster than it did before, which is pretty good. Not like super fast, but we'll be able to get that done in a reasonable amount of time. Next step is to make sure we get the toast automatically fed to all these dispensers. I think we'll be able to get this stuff done though. But yep, this is going to be what I'm going to be doing for a little while now. Trying to get all of our Terra Steel made. It won't be that bad. We'll just have to wait on the mana being generated. But you can kind of see in this mana pool here, if I turn my camera in such a way, you can kind of see the pixels moving up, how fast that is going. It's not bad, but like the sounds here are just very, very obnoxious. So I'm gonna have to be turning down. I think it's the block sound for the ticking of the dispensers. That's the worst part of it. But anyway, guys, we're gonna go and wrap the episode up here for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.